Well, good morning and welcome back to the channel. This morning you joined me at another woodland after my woodland on the last video. I decided to head and try and find a new woodland that I hadn't been to. So this is Thornden Woods, or it's near East Blean. Apparently they've got a few wild animals roaming around, and including the bison, I believe, was introduced to the woodland in a controlled area, just to try and make the woodland more natural. I think this forms part of their natural environment, and they wander around the woodland, breaking trees and digging up the dirt as they go, and just forms a much more natural ecosystem. It's quite a project that's been going on for a while, but never been here, never been to the woodland, so I'm not sure what to expect. And yeah, we'll just wander around and see if we can find an image or two along the way.
A bison's diet, behaviour and sheer size help them to boost biodiversity in this woodland ecosystem. Bark stripping is a unique behaviour to bison and creates deadwood, encouraging insects, woodpeckers, bats and other wildlife. Bison also like to take dust baths to clean off parasites. This creates patches of open ground which reptiles like to use to bathe in the sun. Because of their size, bison can force their way through thick vegetation, opening areas which can attract butterflies and allow light to reach the forest floor to encourage new plants to grow.
Well, there you have it. This first image here, I've got the camera on the tripod with the 70-200. I am at 70mm, and it's just the path leading into the woodland, and the two trees on the right hand side. If I flip you around here, it was these two trees here that just caught my eye, and as the path leads down, there's a couple of lighter trees in the background there that just end on the pathway there, and I just thought as I was walking along it looked quite nice. So yeah, set the shot up 70-200, like I say, at 70mm. It's ISO 100 f7.1, and the shutter speed was for 1/10 of a second. Now there's no filters at all on this one at the moment. It's just after sunrise, getting a little bit of light hitting the top of the trees there, and yeah, first image just to try and get my eye in. Woodland's always difficult, so I think it's one of them, the more you come, the more you see, and it's always a good idea to watch lots of other videos on YouTube to see how other people approach woodland. But yeah, first image didn't look too bad. If it's any good, I'll pop it up on the screen for you now. Well, the same as I was saying last video, this woodland again, once you come off the path and get into the woodland itself, which I have done on a couple of occasions to this point, and it is very, very dense again, like last time. I believe, having a quick look on Blean's website, this particular wood was a planted woodland which was used for the production of wood, basically. And I think they were saying 50% of that is the planted woodland, and the rest of it is natural. And I think they're trying to re-naturalise it, if that's even a word, with the introduction of the bison here at Blean Woods, to try and restart the ecosystem and make it a much more natural woodland. It's very, very early days yet, and I should imagine that's going to take a good few years to have any kind of real big noticeable difference. I'm sure some of the rangers here will tell me it's already having an effect, but yeah, we'll keep looking around and see what we can find. Yeah, it's always difficult woodland, and a new woodland where you have no idea where you're going is it's nice to get somewhere new, but it's still very much a struggle. Well, for this next shot now, just walking along the footpath, looked into the woodland, and just this group of 3 trees caught my eye. Just some nice shapes. It's a very, very tight viewpoint into the woodland, so I haven't got many options. Now, I'd like to try and get a little bit more separation in some of the branches, but if I go to the left, there's a bush. If I go to the right, there's a bush, and that just makes the image look far worse. So this is a bit of a compromise, really, and I'm thinking this may work best as a square crop. I have used a circular polarizer and the K&F black mist filter. Give me an ISO 100 f4, a shutter speed of 0.3 seconds, and I'll pop that up on the screen for you now. Well, for this next shot, which I've already taken actually, I shot between these 2 trees, and there's a pine tree in the background, and beyond the pine tree is some silver birch that was actually catching the light. This pine tree, all the leaves and the branches on the lower section of the tree have been removed or fallen away or died, but they're no longer there, and just reveals the background of the woodland, which is the silver birch. Really do glow in that sunlight. So I used the 70-200, I'm at about 100 millimeters, and I used the circular polarizer just to try and saturate some of the colours and remove any reflections off of these ferns in the foreground. And the K&F caught a black mist filter, hoping just to reduce the contrast slightly and diffuse the sunlight in the background on the silver birch. It was ISO 100 f5.6 for 1/13 of a second, and I'll pop that up on the screen for you now. Well, this next shot, I've literally moved 10 yards around the corner, and the amount of times I've put my bag on and taken it off this morning already is ridiculous. But it's good because it means there are things that are catching my eye, compositions that I'm seeing. And on this particular image here, I'm shooting between the trees. I don't know if I can point it out on here because I can't really see where I'm pointing, but there's a tree with a branch, I think it's here, that sweeps over and creates a bit of a natural frame for the background. And again, there's some I believe silver birch in the background catching the light, and ferns in the foreground catching the sunlight and starting to turn a little bit brown in places. So again, the 70-200, I am at probably about 90mm, something like that. ISO 400 this was, because I wanted to get a slightly faster shutter speed because the wind had picked up a little bit and the ferns were moving. I have also focus stacked this because the ferns are a lot closer than the silver birch in the background. So it's just 2 focus points, one on the foreground and one on the silver birch in the background. And gave me ISO 400 f 5.6, and it was 125th of a second. And yeah, I think that one's come out all right. Again, circular polarizer and the K&F black mist filter. And I'll pop that up on the screen for you now. Well, I might be wrong, but walking around this woodland, there's a few areas I've seen like this that's quite open now, and lots of branches and parts of old trees just laying around. I can only assume that the I don't know whether it's the Kent Wildlife Trust are trying to manage this woodland and trying to open it up, get some more light onto the forest floor, to try and boost the ecosystem. I mean, I don't know, I might be way off the mark there, but it does look like they're doing a lot more work in this woodland than any woodland that I've seen, that I've been to so far. Like I say, it's the first time I've been here, and I don't know, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning now. I've been here since just after 7, and I think I've probably just barely scratched the surface of it wandering around so far. I do bring with me my Garmin GPS system for a couple of reasons. I always mark where the car is, that way you know you can't get lost. If you do get disorientated, you can just navigate your way back via the GPS to the car park quite simply. Never rely on the mobile phone because you don't know whether or not you're going to be getting network coverage and a signal. At least with GPS, it's a far better system for navigation reasons. And also I can mark waypoints on there if I find anything interesting, any trees that I want to come back to, any areas I want to come back to. I can mark those on the GPS and quite easily navigate back to them anytime in the future. So yeah, it's a nice addition to your photography trips. It's handy for when you're out walking in unfamiliar locations or travelling around any of the national parks. You know, all the maps are available, quite expensive I must admit, but the maps are there, and you can even get open source maps which although don't give the same level of detail as the OS maps, they're still very, very good for navigation, especially locally. They're really well done. But yeah, loving the woodland so far. It's been a nice walk around this morning. I'm going to continue walking around just to kind of do a recce for future trips back here to Blean Woods. Now, most woodlands in the past that I've been to were always free, but like several in our area now, there is a charge for parking. It's £2 all day, so it's more than reasonable, but yeah, you might get caught out and not expect it. Again, you can pay on the Ringo app or in the machine by cash, I believe. I didn't look too closely because I did get a signal and I managed to pay on the Ringo app. But yeah, £2 all day it's a fair charge, I suppose, especially considering they are doing a lot of work to this woodland. Well, that's another good thing about the GPS, is it does have kind of geographical points of interest and things like that you might ordinarily not know about. This one didn't really pan out. I was expecting a little bit more body of water than that, but yeah, it does come in handy sometimes. Just making my way back towards the car park now, and I'm coming back on different paths to how I went out, and I've come across this tree that caught my attention walking along the path, and I took a quick shot of it there, and I'll pop that one up on the screen for you now. And then just had a walk around trying to find a different composition, and I think I've come up with something a little bit better. I had to wait for clouds to come over and block the sun, because there was quite a lot of dappled light on it as we're getting quite late in the day now. But I think I've managed to get one image of this tree. It's just a lovely shape. No idea what the tree is. If you know what the tree is, then let me know. Leave a comment down below, and yeah, let me know what tree this is. This was ISO 100 f8, and it gave me a shutter speed of 1/5 of a second. Again, 70 to 200, and I'm probably about 80 millimeters, something like that. No filters on for this one. Just all about the shape and how the branches all twist and interact with each other. There's a little bit of sky behind it, but I don't know, we'll see what it's like in post. But yeah, grabbed my attention, so I took the shot, and here's that shot now. There I was on the way back to the car park, and bumped into a couple that said if you carry on around the footpath there's a couple of horses around there. And yeah, when I got there were 3 wild ponies. Obviously they are tagged, and they do roam the area of Blean. They seemed friendly enough, and it would have been rude not to try and take a couple of images of them, so I have taken a couple, and I'll pop them up on the screen for you now. Well, that's it, we are almost back at the car now. It's nice to get out and see a new woodland. It's always nice to go somewhere new and not really know what you're going to find. I think I found 1 or 2 images that were not bad. Even found a bit of wildlife, so that was quite nice. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment. Until next time, take care. See you soon. Cheers then.